Let's see, what do we do here? Let's get you updated on everything up to date. I'm out here at my new land, and update on the creek. You know, I talked to you before about we're going to spray, not spray, we're going to pull water from the creek to irrigate all this. I do have permission from the people I need to get permission from to do that, so that's finalized. I do have a irrigation company. One of my buddies emailed me, actually two of my buddies emailed me and recommended the same company that's kind of sort of local to me, and they specialize in golf course irrigation, or irrigating large areas of turf. And I think I'm gonna try to set up an appointment with this guy, and get him to come out here and measure the volume of water coming through the creek, all that kind of thing, and then go from there. And then he can tell me, what kind of pump I need, what kind of pipe I need, the size pipe, what would be the best irrigation heads to run in my case, based on the pump that I got, based on the water volume I got. And since I made that last video, I've thought about the golf course irrigation heads, and not real sure I'm going to want to go that way. But I still don't want to go with the standard basic residential heads, simply because it will take, I figured it up, it'll take like 180 heads out here to, times $20 a piece or whatever they are. I just don't want to do that. So I'm going to put something up on the screen right here. Look right here on the screen. And this is a head that I found that Rainbird makes. It's made kind of for sports fields, and it's kind of in between a golf course head and a residential head. It's got the look kind of sort of a residential head, but you get the volume and the distance from a golf course head. These things will throw like 100 feet. If you got the right pump to push it. So I think I'm going to look more along that lines and see if I can't make that work, or ask this guy I'm gonna get to come out and look at everything to see if that makes sense. So we'll kind of see how that goes as we get to that part. Number 2 update is, I had a lot of people asking how did me and Dallas play in the Brian Bros tournament down at the beach. Played really well. We shot 10 under at Grand Dunes, which if any of you has played that golf course, that's a pretty good score for a two-man best ball, two-man captain's choice, excuse me. I hit driver pretty good. He made a lot of putts. We both hit irons pretty good. It was one of them days, that woulda, coulda, shoulda. I know a lot of you have had that type of round of golf. We had 4 putts lip out, 3 of which were eagle putts on par 5s. I'm talking about go in the hole, wrap around, and come back out. Oh my goodness. So that's just the way it goes. That's the game of golf. So that 10 under could have easily been a 14 under. And then on top of that, we had another putt we missed from 6 feet. Both of us missed it. That was pretty makeable. Coulda, woulda, shoulda, maybe been 15 under. And of course, we'd have won the tournament hands down with that. I think 12 under ended up winning. And our 10 under, I think there were 4 tied for 3rd place. And we had to do a chip off, a 69-yard chip off. And I got chosen from my team to do the chip off. And I hit the ball solid. I just didn't hit it hard enough. I ain't chunk it or nothing like that, but I just didn't hit it hard enough. So I didn't put our team in that top 3, so I kind of choked on that. But it is what it is. We're getting ready to have a full-blown short game facility here at the house, and I'm going to have 1 tee box out here designated as the 69-yard shot. I will never miss that shot again if given the chance. All right, next update is the equipment is here. And as you can see, this big hole in the woods back here, my boys already started doing some grading. So I think the best way to do this is to put you up in the air with the drone and kind of talk you through what all's happened. He's only worked one, I think like a 7-hour day. And so he has gotten a ton of work done in a very little amount of time. I was actually quite impressed with the amount of work he's got done. So when he does tobacco too, so they're kind of in their season of selling and all that kind of thing. So once he gets past that in the next 2 or 3 days, he'll be out here full time. So I think we'll roll through this right here, and they'll really get a lot done. All right, there you go. Now you're in the drone view, and you're actually kind of coming right down where the driveway will be. You know, all this area looked like that area, just all grown up and over. Now this tree right here in front of you that's got the funky little L shape to it, that's coming down. That pine tree you see right in the middle is coming down. A couple other small ones, and you see this big oak right here. That's going to be on the left side of the driveway. And then see that oak back in there with the fork? Let's see if I can get you a little bit closer to it. That one right there, that is going to be the right side of the driveway. So you'll come in the driveway like so. Of course, again, that tree is going to be gone. That pine tree is going to be gone. All this little group of trees to the left, that's where my well is at. All that's going to be gone. And you come on in here. Come in the driveway. You can see my truck, see me, see the track hoe. And then the driveway is going to kind of circle around just like this right here. And if we stop right here, you'll be looking at the garage doors. You can see the orange layout right there, still where the house is going to go. And look at there. Remember that row of trees that was kind of in the way of my backyard, per se? All that's gone. He's kind of cleared all that out right there. And then we'll circle on around here, and you can kind of see his equipment sitting there, and you can kind of see the opening to the driveway starting to show. Let me get down a little bit, get out of that sunlight. But look at that right there. And all these trees right here too that you're looking at right now, all of those are going to be gone. Pretty much every one of them. And then you come on down here this way, all this block of trees is going to be gone. And actually my house is going to be in the field. My shop is going to occupy where that block of trees is right there. Why is the lighting not right? There we go. That little block of trees right there. And it's going to kind of open it up a little bit so that I can see that pond. Seeing the screen right there? Look right there. See that pond right there? That is going to be really nice to be able to look at that pond. Me and my brother do have plans to really expand the size of that pond and make it quite a bit bigger. So I read some of the comments and saw some things about, you shouldn't take those trees down, yada, yada, yada. Look, I ain't a tree hugger. By no means. You know, people get classified as that tree hugger type that just will throw you under the bus if you cut a tree down. I'm not that guy. I do not mind cutting a tree down one bit. There's plenty of woods, miles and miles and acres 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 of trees, to where if I cut down this little tiny block right here, I ain't messing up no kind of ecosystem. I ain't messing up no kind of whatever system. I'm just not the tree hugging kind of guy. So with that said, I won't go crazy because I like the big oak trees, okay? Those big 200-year-old trees that are massive. I'm not cutting down the big oak trees, okay? Matter of fact, over here where the shop is at, and we got that block of woods that are coming down where we're going to put the shop, there are several smaller white oaks in there. I'm talking about, it might be some 6 feet tall, might be some 12 foot tall. And I've got to mark those, get in there and mark them so he don't cut those down, so that he can work around them, And then once that area is cleared, we get it mapped out where the shop's going to go. We're going to take a track hoe and carefully dig up that oak tree. We're going to plant it somewhere else on the property. I've got several of them in there, 4 or 5, or maybe even 10 of them in there. And we're going to plant them around the outskirts of the property in, you know, strategic locations. And that way I can save those big oaks, just because, like I said, I'm a big oak tree fan. I absolutely love them. But the rest of this stuff you see in here ain't nothing but pines and little scrub trees. There's some maples in here. And if you know anything about maples and turf, they don't go together. They suck together. Maple roots grow up on top of the ground and they get into your turf and jack everything up. Yeah, I got maples at my house. And if I would have educated myself a little bit better on what the maple tree can do to turf, I'd have never planted maples right there. I'd have planted something where the root system goes straight down instead of out on top of the ground. Even now when I'm plugging and aerating my yard, when I get around there to the edge where the maples are at, I can feel the plugger hitting the roots of the maple or the aerator jiggling on them. So I don't want any part of a maple tree out here. Matter of fact, talking about planting bushes and trees, I know some of you might like this idea and some of you might not like this idea. Regardless, it doesn't matter because it's my house, right? My house, around the house, is going to be 100% naked, meaning 0 plants, 0 shrubs, 0 trees, 0 maintenance, nothing. I'm going to design this and set this property up as a ultra low maintenance property. Yeah, it's going to be Bermuda, and yeah, it grows aggressive in the summer, and yeah, I'm going to have a putting green, and yeah, they say you got to mow it every day, but my answer to all of that is no, you don't, because I've got growth regulator, and I can regulate things out here and make it grow to the speed I want it to grow at. Doesn't mean I don't ever have to mow, but it does mean it cuts way back on mowing, or at least the clippings I collect when I do mow. So we'll talk about that when we get there. Right now, I think it'd be cool to look at some of this equipment and see what my man's got out here that he's going to be working with. And you know, some of you may not know what this stuff is, and this will kind of help get you up to speed to what it is. All right, so the F450, that's mine, just so you don't get confused. And something else I don't want you to get confused is this ain't my equipment. This is the grading company's equipment. This right here is a Volvo EC160E, which is a track hoe, otherwise known as an excavator. And what this thing does, it has tracks where it can travel pretty much where it wants to. This whole entire cab spins 360 around. That way you have the opportunity to sit in one spot and work in a 360-degree pattern. This is the arm section right here. And you can look at this as a shovel with a lot of horsepower. That's basically what it is. I don't know what size bucket that is, but it's a pretty good size. I myself can get in there and take a seat in it, so it's pretty good size. This is called a thumb right here. You can see this hydraulic cylinder. This part of the setup can fold up out of the way using that cylinder, and then he can just dig. Or when he's picking trees out, like if you notice, I don't know if I can zoom in on this, and not too good of a zoom on this one, but you can see right there where he picks the small ones, and that way he pulls the root system and everything out. But super nice machine. I'd love to have one day. Here's a Caterpillar 939C loader. Lord have mercy, look at him there. Hey, you ain't on the golf course, you can yell now. So this right here is a 939C loader, just basically a bulldozer with a bucket that you can scoop up stuff and that kind of thing. Caterpillar 613B, this is called a pan. You know, kind of like a dish pan. This is a little bit old one right here. Look at this thing right here, but I bet it'll still get the job done. So you come in here and you see this edge right here. That's the cutting edge right there. And that would sink down or lower down into the dirt. And you can't go real deep on it, but it skims off dirt layer by layer. And these paddles right here are constantly moving, and it packs the dirt back up in there. So it's basically a way to grade off dirt and haul dirt from point A to point B. I got a spot over here. It looks like he made a pass for whatever reason. Oh, and look how brown everything is. Remember, I sprayed all this to kill it off. But you can see right here how the pan kind of works. It kind of goes in the ground and skims off layer by layer of dirt. So this whole section right here needs to come down 2 or 3, 4 feet. So he'll use that pan to cut it down. And then we take the dirt over there with using the pan. It hauls the dirt too. And then you open up the bottom of that, the carrier part of it, and it kind of spreads the dirt out. So that's basically what a pan does. It's an earth mover, more or less. On a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you? 12. Boone, what are you doing? You excited? We're going to mark a few trees that we need gone. Here's your little tip I learned the hard way. Don't take that thing off inside the truck. Hold that. Because if you do, you might accidentally spray the interior of your truck, and that ain't gonna go over well.
What if I just
you spray my truck with that, they'll probably call the child abuse place on me. Now that I see that one oak, it's wrapped up in that ivy. See, it goes up and split, and the top of it done fell out. That's got to come down. I call that a junk. That's a junk tree. Look at this big boy. See, the driveway's gonna come right through here. And I'm just marking these trees so he knows which ones to take down. This oak right here, this will be on the right side going out. And then that big oak, oh no, look at them vines up in there. I wonder if we can pull those vines out without tearing the tree up. What's wrong with you? Huh? She's my videographer today. This one's gone. This one's no good. And he did tell me that the ones that he don't like, he'll take to the sawmill and they'll make lumber out of them. Do what? Huh?
The yellow tape.
No, this is just easier to do it this way. He said mark the ones I don't want, right? Ooh, it's cold. I'm such a weenie.
What are you thinking on driveway?
Right through here.
Okay.
That big oak will be on the right side, and that big oak will be on the left.
All right. I will tell you what he was saying about that. He was scratching around between the two, and he said both of them roots were right on the top of the ground. And he said if you driveway over,
I think we originally said go between them two. Yeah. But now once you clear that, that's too close. Because if I'm gonna have a trailer coming through here and all that, you know.
And if you pave it, them roots ain't gonna bust you.
Yeah. So I just move it over here and be plenty good. Now, what do you think about these bigger ones right through here? Leave them?
I think those are pretty.
If you don't mind the poplars here, because that's my privacy screen from her back door.
That's fine.
Yeah, let's leave that.
I ain't trying to be wide open on
the
hilltop.
No, I agree. Those big trees like that, I want to leave them anyway. But the rest of this little scrub crap in here, I want that gone because I can plant a row of something right through there to kind of block it off if I need to. I think if he can get the vines out of that one tree,
just leave it.
Gosh, man, I think you might you know, they got people that come out here and bore into the tree and like feed the tree with stuff and kind of make it back healthy. Because I hate to lose that one.
Yeah, no,
That's a good one right there.
I'll tell them to clean the vines out. I mean, if I'm here and you ain't, I'll tell them to get the vines out.
Yeah.
Leave a tree.
Even if I gotta get a tree company to come out here and prune it, you know what I'm saying? They'll prune it and then make it flush back out. And plus, with it getting a bunch of sunlight down here, it should flush out at the bottom too a little bit more.
Yeah, once they get some, like you say, get some open air, it might rock and roll.
What are you doing? What is it?
I don't know. Probably a beer can.
That is not a dang beer can, you ding dong.
I'm glad you're wrong about that.
My gosh.
Probably like a little oil bottle.
It's,
Don't eat
it's
that.
good you don't know what a beer can is. I'm proud of you. Come this way, Mama. Listen to them kids. So you can see what we're talking about. Well, I don't know if you can see or not. See those vines hanging down? Yeah, they should be able to take them vines out and clean that top up a little bit. And hopefully that'll flush out a little bit because, boy, that's a big one right there. I don't want to lose that one. These poplars right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'll just leave all them right there. My brother wanted kind of a hedge, kind of screen from his house. What are you laughing at? Huh? And all this stuff right in here will go, and then you see up there's the main road up there, and I'll end up planting something right through here to kind of screen off from the back of their houses and stuff like that. All right, well, there's your update. We're gonna go over here and give us a little bite to eat with my brother and the kids. And look at here, let me show you this little trick right here, what I do. See this little tab right there sticking above that white thing? The white thing is what mashes to make the paint come out. Well, now, now when you pull the trigger, see it don't spray. I always twist the can before I put it in my truck so you don't accidentally hit that thing and spray paint the inside of your truck. So there's your update right there. We are hysterically excited, would be a good word. I can see the driveway coming through here. I can see the front yard putting green out here. I can visualize the house. I can see the finished product. I know some people have a hard time, you know, visualizing things like that. But I don't know, I just been doing this so long, I can look out here and I'm literally seeing a finished landscape with a house around it. And I cannot wait to get going on this. And like I said, has kind of put a little bit of fire back in me to, you know, make some more videos because it's kind of fresh and new. It's not just doing work in the yard where, you know, lawn care is so stinking repetitive. Oh my gosh, you do the same thing over and over and over and over every year. And this is kind of new and fresh, so it's kind of put that fire back in me. Man, look at that right there. Isn't that pretty? That's such a pretty view right there. Can't wait to get going. Check you later.